We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast. Hopefully your day is going well. By the time you hear this, it will be Friday, recording it Thursday night on a TikTok live. We like doing this kind of thing because there's a lot of people that come through, people that sit on the panel, and people that just happen on by, and we get to hear a lot of perspectives from a lot of different people, and I think that's important given what we're dealing with these days. A couple of things happened today that are a little troubling. We know that Israel bombed some infrastructure, some energy infrastructure in Iran. They bombed this gas field called South Pars. Now, what you have to understand about this situation is this does some pretty serious damage. It takes out a lot of this liquid gas, about 20% of it. And this gas would go to power or fuel power plants in Europe and India and stuff like that. You've taken 20% of it out of action. And in doing that, it's going to cost people a lot of money. It's going to get people in a situation where they might have to ration electricity come next winter. It's pretty fucked up. Now, why they did that, I don't know for sure. Donald Trump basically is trying to back away from it because it's a fucked up thing to do. And he said, I told them not to do it. And then he said, I didn't know anything about it. And then he said, if Iran doesn't stop hitting the other fuel infrastructure and in the other Middle Eastern countries, we'll just bomb the whole thing. Well, that's a fucking stupid thing to say. But that's typical of what you can expect out of Donald Trump. We've got a bunch of people coming through. Got a panel of some folks that we hear from regularly. We've got TJ the Plumber, Trucker T, and the Analytical Iowan. I don't know what's more fucked up today, the whole concept of what's going on with this gas field, or Donald Trump embarrassing the prime minister from Japan, fucking with her about the bombing of Pearl Harbor. What do you guys think about this shit?
His jokes are worse than Jay's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks he's funny. He thinks he's clever, and it always goes very badly.
Well, Mike, today I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm in my find out stage, right? So today I've been trying to find out why is Kent under investigation after he quit? Why did one of our planes get shot down again? Why did Donald pat a lady on her backside walking out of the office today? And a plethora of other whys.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
That.
Holy shit. I mean, come on, bro.
He starts out patting her on the back, and his hand just keeps going low till he pats her on the butt about 3 or 4 times.
Wow. And Blue Jean Baby Queen is saying she hadn't heard about the plane. I have not either. Why don't you enlighten us about that?
Well, I don't want to say the wrong name. I think it was the F-35, one of our stealth planes.
Okay.
They're not saying that Iran shot it down. What they're saying is the plane had an incident in enemy territory, but the pilot is okay.
Well, we're glad to hear the pilot's okay, but an incident in enemy territory. So you don't know if it was shot down or if it was just more incompetence by the Department of Defense. We're seeing crashes. We're seeing planes hit each other. We saw the helicopter situation in D.C. This is what happens when you just fly by the seat of your pants and there is no competence in this whole thing. And that's almost as scary as some of the evil, egregious shit they're doing.
Well, yeah, and I guess the biggest thing is they're questioning, rightfully so, how did they even see that plane? Because it's supposed to be one of our most stealth planes out there. How did they even see it and hit it?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. Eric, what have you been thinking about today? Obviously, you have some insights on what's going on. It's like every other day. There's 9 different things that are fucked up.
Jesus Christ. I mean, he attempts to crack a joke claiming that, oh, well, why didn't you warn us about Pearl Harbor? He missed the point of the question entirely.
Yeah.
The point of the question from the reporter was, why didn't you warn our allies that you were doing this? Not Iran. Why didn't you warn our allies? And he goes, well, why didn't Japan warn us about Pearl Harbor? What the fuck? Like,
He thinks he's
brain
clever. He
mush.
thinks he's funny.
Oh, well, I had it pulled up. He goes on to say something like, well, we like surprise, and then when it is a surprise, we did something that we didn't. I'll have to see if I can pull it up again, the exact quote, but it's literally like 4 sentences of nothing, and there's no thought there at all.
No. Well, it's like what Donald Trump always does. He just wings it. He just talks off the top of his head. Doesn't matter if it's appropriate or if it's embarrassing or whatever. He just says what he says because he believes anything that comes out of his mouth is going to be absolute golden. And it never is. It's always embarrassing.
Mike, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So if you're asking for $200 billion with a B, what is your explanation would be a little bit more than we've got to unalive some bad guys. So just give me the money.
That's a good point. I want to pull TJ into this too. What people have to understand is our Defense Department has a budget of nearly $1 trillion. Nearly $1 trillion. It's 3 or 4 or 5 times more than the 3 or 4 that come after us as far as what they spend on defense. And 2 of those are Russia and China. So the question is why we spend that much. And we know why we spend that much. It's because we want to keep feeding money to the industrial military complex. It's so the rich people can make money. But then they have the audacity to go to the White House and say, we got a war going here. We need another 200 billion, not million, billion. And like you said, all he could say is, it takes money to kill bad guys. Jesus Christ. Do we have a 13-year-old running the fucking Defense Department? It seems like it. What do you think, TJ?
Well, just FYI, Rebecca's sick. That's why she's not showing up here. But why would we need an increase of 20% on the totality of the DoD budget? That makes no sense, and I'll tell you why. Because all the claims that they made were that this thing is going to be over in 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks with Donald Trump, right? It's going to be over. So if this is costing us on the figures that are out there, this is costing us $1 billion a day. That equates to 200 days to me. So who's lying here? I mean, obviously we know they want 200 billion because they want to hide it and steal it, and just like they do with everything else. It's
right.
You'd have to be an absolute idiot. And I had to laugh. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the press conference with Donald Trump, and then he's playing with the model airplane on the desk. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I
it was like a child. Like that's like what my little nephew would do. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't believe this is the president of the United States. And they asked him about Cuba, and he's like, Cuba, like what? It was just like a child. Like he's really. I mean. He's really spiraling the drain. I mean, if people can't see that he's demented, you have to be an absolute fool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and he was talking about. It's funny when he was with that Japanese prime minister. It's funny whenever he pulls these people from other countries and they talk about everything except the topic at hand, the prime minister or the leader of the country or their country or how it ties in to America. He was talking about all the wonderful things he's did. He even brought up that the stock market was above 50,000, which it's not. It's about 46 or 47 now. It's dropped like a rock, and it's going to drop further. He was talking about prices coming down. And this is what he said. And this is typical of a narcissist. I knew when I went into Iran, it was going to get a little higher. I thought it would get even higher than this, but it's not so bad. But when it's all said and done, it'll come down even lower than before. That is so much bullshit. And Donald Trump would like us to believe that this is going to be a short-term thing. It's not. Iran's not going to allow it to be a short-term thing. It's going to go on for a long time. And we're seeing oil, gas prices now. Here it's about $3.79, and it was probably $2.79 late February. So it's going through the roof, and it's going through the roof quickly.
I sent you the picture that my brother sent me, my brother Liam.
Right.
It's at $5 a gallon where he lives.
Unfucking believable.
Well, Mike, here's my thought on this. Right before I got on here, I saw a video of Stephen Miller with his lies. He's saying that he personally uncovered over $1 trillion of money that the Democrats were funneling to Somalis and other nationalities through food banks and whatnot. So if he found that $1 trillion, we should be pretty much out of debt, right?
Well, not out of debt. I mean, I think we're at 39 trillion right now. We're not, but he certainly could fund the war with that. And somebody else mentioned, why don't we just use tariff money to fund the war? Why do we need to get money out of Congress and out of our pockets? I mean, the tariff money came out of our pockets in the first place.
Because it's stolen. That's why.
Right. Well, I was going to ask this question to maybe Eric, because Eric knows this stuff. So, all right, let's just say that was true, that Stephen Miller found over $1 trillion. Wouldn't he have to go through Congress and explain, like, the channels where he found it and all of that, and where they're going to appropriate the money to?
Yeah.
Because Congress has appropriated money out for budgets, and if he finds $1 trillion in stuff that hadn't been spent from previous years, that's why Hegseth had to do that $93 billion spend down on food and musical instruments and furniture and all that bullshit in a month. If at the end of the fiscal year the money's not spent, it's supposed to go back to the Treasury to pay down debt. So if he found $1 trillion, they've got to have justification for it.
Well, it's more, Eric. It's more complicated than that, because if they don't spend down the money, then they get a budget cut the next time around.
Well, yes, but my point was, if there was money still left over that he's finding this $1 trillion out of our budget, he's got to go to Congress with it because they have the power of the purse.
Yeah.
The president does not have the authority to authorize any payments out of the Treasury for anything.
Well, not if it gets transferred to the Board of Peace. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, that Board of Peace should be spelled B-O-R-E-D. Just saying.
That's a good one.
All right, I tell you, I'm going to bring somebody up here. If they show up again, we go through this thing all the time with TikTok. I pull somebody up and they don't come up. I should say, I did a TikTok about this earlier, and I'm saying this now just to thank all the people in the audience. I'm not big on milestones. I'm not big on praising myself, because it's really not about myself. But I've been working for 5 years on TikTok. And today I broke the 500,000 peer mark. So
good job,
thank you to all of you folks that continue to follow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's
Mike.
Pretty cool.
Hey,
Thank you
very much. I
much.
broke the 3,500 last week.
Nice.
I don't give a fuck
gotta
about
tell you,
TikTok.
I don't care as much about it either, but you know, when I first came on almost 5.5 years ago, I thought, well, maybe I'll get 1,000, or if I'm lucky, I'll get 5,000. If it goes crazy, I'll get 10,000. I wasn't expecting much, but as luck would have it, determination and diligence seems to pay off, because I'm here every day for fucking 5.5 years. I decided I'm just going to work harder than everybody else. I'm not a thirst trap. I'm not young. So I'm just going to be here all the fucking time. And that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to pull somebody up again, see if we can get them up. Okay, we have Tony. Hey, Tony, how you doing? What's on your mind tonight? Hey, Tony, how you doing? What's on your mind tonight? Hey, Tony, how you doing? What's on your mind tonight? Hey, yeah. Tony, how you doing? What's on your mind? Well, it's not the internet. She's got something else on her mind. We'll try somebody else here. I'm going to try this guy. Taking a shot in the dark, and he doesn't show up. Man, I tell you, TikTok, you got new owners right now. You got to pick this up a little bit. Reverend Aloha, how are you doing, and what's on your mind tonight?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Well, what's not on our minds, right? It's
Yeah, no
it's
shit.
kind of crazy, crazy times. I don't know, man. It's almost like it's overwhelming. Like if it was 1985 and I'd taken you aside and said, "Hey, man, in 2026, there's going to be pedo Nazis in the White House, and and whatever else, right, is going on, insanity, right? You would think I was crazy, right?
If you said what's going on in our government right now, back in 85, 95, 2005 for that matter, they would have called you a conspiracy theorist and a nut. And that would have made sense back then. That's the amazing thing about this is we're seeing this going on all around us, and it just seems surreal. It doesn't seem possible in this country, but fuck if it isn't here.
Well, and that's just it, right? It's so far from normal, but people are becoming used to it, right? People are becoming used to it. Like I know, it's crazy.
I'm not,
well, I'm not either. No, I'm not either. But we're older too, so that helps, right? We have the perspective of experience, right? But I mean, I'm a Gen Xer, but an older one. It's I don't know, man. What's that noise? Is that my noise or someone else?
I know where it is.
Where is it? I think my son's washing dishes, and apparently that gets picked up.
It's okay. Sorry.
Wow.
Reverend Aloha, I have a question for you.
Yeah, man.
I see on your profile that you're a clergyman, yes?
I am.
So, being a clergyman and being a liberal, do you get some pushback from the people that, belong to your church or, obviously there are probably some people that are not educated about the things that are going on because of religion and, things like that. Do you see that a lot?
No, my particular church they're basically hippies that worship, right? So it's they're good people, they're good, they're solid people. I think the pushback I get is actually more historically and more currently from people who are kind of more of the fundamentalist, ideology, and they think I'm kind of the embodiment of Satan somehow if I'm preaching love,
So you fight with the Baptists, is that what you're telling me?
Well, not all of them. No, it's more like the holiness movement, the Pentecostal holiness movement, the people who kind of pride themselves on anti-intellectualism, and and they, here's the weird shit, man. Okay, here's a lot of people don't know about this little detail, but it's a very interesting little point in history, is that America was founded on the idea of liberty for all, but slavery for some, right?
Yes.
And that's a contradiction. In order for them to feel okay about their slavery, they felt okay with it. They felt okay with it in a lot of ways, but they wanted to also they wanted it to be justified in a religious sense. They wanted to be able to make it make sense for me in my so-called religion, right? And so back in the day, during the time of slavery, they used Christianity to justify it, and at the very same time, you had the rise of social Darwinism, and so these two things converged in America. And you had the rise of a certain brand of theology called natural theology that basically justified slavery, right? And so this is where the white supremacist, white nationalist cult comes from. It's not new. It goes way back in our country, and it has its origins in slavery, really. And there's a history there of all kinds of pastors getting kicked out of the South who preached otherwise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether Baptist or Methodist or whatever, and they got their asses handed to them and thrown out of the South, unless they were preaching basically this kind of social Darwinist misnomer, right, of Christianity, and that's what we have today. And so, it's something that's been going on for generations, right? And so these are the people that don't like me, and these are the people that confront me, and these are the people that I argue with, if you will, or frankly, I confront them too, right?
Right.
So whatever, man. It's crazy, man, right? It's crazy, basically, right? Like you're arguing with somebody who's got an ideology in their head that is anything but loving. It's full of hate. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's crazy land, right? And so you can't convince them of
No.
anything. And if you
No.
point out contradictions in the Bible, like if you point out what Jesus actually said, right?
Right.
What
Right.
he
Well,
actually said,
Jesus gave people universal health care.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. He was a
Right.
little brown socialist guy,
Right.
basically, right? I mean,
There's
whatever.
I got a question for you, Reverend. We know the evangelicals are just way off fucking base. They aren't even thinking about what's in the Bible. They're just twisting it any way they can put their agenda across. When you see somebody like James Tellerico in Texas, who does also espouse religion and seems to do it with more common sense, how do you feel about a guy like that?
I've seen bits and pieces of him, but what I have seen, I've liked. He seems thoughtful, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he might be a pastor as well, right?
Well, I know he taught Sunday school. He may be a pastor.
I think he might be, but he actually reflects more about the tradition, if you will. That's accurate. That do to your neighbor as you would do unto yourself, right? Or
Right.
just don't be an asshole if you want to put it in the negative, right? That's the essence of it, isn't it? Right? And
Yeah.
he seems very well spoken, and but I don't know him in great detail. I can't, but he seems like a decent chap.
I got to tell you, Reverend, I'm not much about organized religion, but listening to a reverend like you cussing now and again, that makes me feel kind of an affinity toward you as a clergyman.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Well-
Well, I come from working class bones, right? So that makes a difference too, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
Reverend, you and the host have something in common, because
Oh,
What's that?
the host is an ordained minister.
Oh, yeah. I am an ordained minister.
oh, are you?
The way it
Okay.
happened, was my son got married, and my daughter-in-law, future daughter-in-law at that point, said, they didn't belong to a church. They said, maybe your dad should do the service. I thought, why the fuck would you pick me to perform a wedding? I wouldn't pick me to do a wedding.
Yeah.
So she said, well, you're a good talker, and, you'd be the right guy to do it. So I went online, paid my $75, and got my ass ordained.
Right.
I haven't
Church-
put a shingle out yet. I'm not doing, confirmations or anything like that, but I am ordained at this moment.
Yeah. Church of Flying Spaghetti or something like
Universal Life Church. I think it's
Right.
Universal Life Church.
that. Sure. It's
I think they sell tacos too. So
It's a taco truck.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, I guess I guess to bring the conversation back, if I may, to the insanity we're dealing with right now. Where do you guys see it going? I mean, I'm kind of pinning my hopes on the midterms as our last hope to turn it around.
Well, the midterms are going to be the turnaround point regardless, because there's no way the Republicans can win there. They're going to lose the House, which will basically castrate the president. But if they lose the Senate too, then his presidency is over. That's going to be the tipping point. But we need something before then. And something I've always said when he got elected, it's going to come to a point where the Republicans can't take it anymore. And unfortunately, whether it be the Trump-a-fucks or the members of Congress, the Republican members of Congress, it appears as though we need a catastrophic crash that cannot be denied and people suffer immensely. And unfortunately, it seems like we're precariously waiting for that to happen with all the shit that's going on with gas prices and wars and Epstein files and shit. I have a sense that between now and the midterms, there's going to be a huge crash and everybody's going to be running away saying, I never liked the guy.
Well, my prediction on this right now, if things don't course correct in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that by July, August, we'll be heading right into a huge recession.
Yeah.
That's my prediction at this point, because this is really, really bad. You know, when you lost 20% of the oil in the world, and then the Iranian attack on the refinery just put out 20% of LNG that goes out to Europe and other countries for the heating season. So
Right.
we're going to be bottlenecked right into a recession worldwide.
And it's not just Americans that are going to suffer now.
No.
It is people all across the world that are going to suffer. I just want to answer one thing. Queenie 2.0 says, what if he succeeds in stealing the midterms? And there are other people that suggest the midterms aren't going to happen. The midterms will happen. They're run by the state, not by the federal government. The states will have the elections. And in terms of him stealing them, that's a little hard to do under two circumstances. First of all, when we're talking about Senate races, congressional races, mayoral, governor's races, there's no way for them to steal all these things, because if there was a way, all these special elections that they've been losing, they would have done it by then. They would have tried to do it. And they're just not, it's just not capable. It's noise they're putting out there, so people are afraid. That's what they want. They want people afraid. So the moment you become afraid or question that maybe what he's saying is true, he wins. So don't let him fucking win.
Is there any way that they could simply not certify the election and leave us in limbo?
No, because those are done by state legislatures. So
Yeah.
when you run an election in a state, the state legislatures are the ones that certify them.
But they certify the electors, right? And then the electors, don't they? Or no, wait.
No. That's a federal
That's a
election.
presidential.
Right.
Yeah, those are
federal.
federal.
Yes. That's
Right.
And that's presidential, right? So
Right.
I'm originally a Canadian. I live in California, so you'll have to forgive me.
No
I'm
problem.
not 100% up to speed on some things like that, but
We like Canadians here.
yeah. Well, I like
We
you.
do
We
too.
like you too. We like Americans. We just don't like your government. You know.
I understand.
Yeah. Mind you, I've been living here for a while now. It's I was wondering though. So there's no way that they can, when the new members of Congress, the new senators come, they can simply not swear them in. Do you remember they delayed the swearing in for a long time of that one Democratic
Yeah,
woman?
but Mike Johnson, his term is over on the 3rd, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. So he can't do that BS.
It would totally annihilate the House of Representatives to not swear in the representatives, because that's the makeup of the House. So they would have no speaker. So it would just he can't not do it.
Okay.
I
In other
can
words.
answer that though. I can answer.
It's
it a little
illegal
better.
not to do it.
Okay. Good to know.
All that aside, come January 3rd, Mike Johnson will probably not be Speaker unless the Republicans pull a miracle out of their ass and somehow maintain their 218-seat majority. And I don't see that
Right.
happening. First
Right.
thing they have to do is elect a Speaker. They elect a Speaker, which will probably be Hakeem Jeffries. He would get sworn in by a nonpartisan member of Congress, who is like the House parliamentarian or something like that,
Yeah,
who is
that's
an
correct.
elected official, is nonpartisan. He gets sworn in. and then he swears in the rest of Congress. Mike Johnson will have no way to block the new Congress from getting sworn.
Okay. Good to know.
He
Thank
plays
you.
no role. The only
Thank you
way
for
he
that.
would be involved
Great.
is if they pull a miracle and they get that 218.
Yeah.
And if you're worried about Donald Trump cheating in the midterms, there's one way to thwart that. And I'll explain it to you this way. In 2024, Joe Biden beat Donald Trump. And why did he beat Donald Trump? He beat him because he got 7 million more votes than Donald Trump. He got 81 million votes. Donald Trump got something like 74 million votes. Now, when Kamala went up against Donald Trump got 77 million votes, a few more than he did the first time, and Kamala got less than him by about 1 million to 2 million votes. The big difference was the Democrats didn't come out and vote. So if you're worried about Donald Trump cheating, what you need to do is get everybody off the fucking couch and everybody vote, because if we have a mass turnout, no amount of cheating is going to help Donald Trump at this point.
Exactly.
And then he'll get impeached. And that'll be it.
Possibly, but it won't matter. Him getting impeached another time probably won't change. And I know people are out there saying we need to get to 67 in the Senate. To get to 67 senators in the Senate,
No.
the Democrats would have to sweep every race that is up for election this time.
It's mathematically it's mathematically impossible.
Now, if it happens, Trump is gone January 4th. Like, if they pull a miracle and they get every seat, Donald Trump's probably gone that first week of January. But it's just not going to happen.
No, it's not. It's not mathematically possible.
Now, I will say this. I said something a while back that people scoffed at and said, no, that can't be. That won't happen. But James Carville just said exactly what I said way back. And he suggested that Donald Trump, if he loses the House and the Senate, and he's going to be subject to investigations and hearings and testimony and all this stuff, and he won't have any power to do anything, Donald Trump could just walk away. And now people will say, well, he's a narcissist. He'd never walk away. You have to understand the arc of a narcissist. They ride high for a while. They double down, they triple down, they never wrong, they don't back down until there's no place to go. And then when there's no place to go, narcissists fucking bolt. So that's a distinct possibility too.
Right. A generous presumption about the Senate, in my opinion, this is my opinion, is that it would be a 55 to 57 margin. But who's to say that there's not 10 to 12 Republican dissenters? So,
and that could happen.
Yes.
But it's on the outside chance, especially if he ends up costing them the midterms. I mean, the Republicans, they're going to be looking toward 28 the minute the midterms are over and trying to get back. And I think their plan is to get rid of Donald Trump if they lose the midterms, and to have J.D. Vance in there with a Democratic-controlled Congress, so they can say, well, give J.D. Vance another term with a Republican-controlled Congress, because those damn evil Democrats, they prevented him from fixing anything. I can see their playbook, and that's even if J.D. Vance runs.
Hey, Reverend, I'm going to let you go because I got to get some other people there. And
Thank you.
Are you at a Chuck E. Cheese? Because it sounds like you got.
No, I got children. That's all. Children. Yeah. Sorry,
well,
man.
God bless you. No. It's no problem. I love kids. Whenever I'm someplace and the kids making noise, I'm down for it. No shame.
Joyful noise, right? Joyful noise. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Reverend.
All right,
Aloha.
You. Yeah, thank you.
Feel free to come back. Feel free to come back anytime. Yeah.
Before you jump into the next guest, I found that quote I was looking for. This is what he said after making the joke about Pearl Harbor. And he said about why it had to be a surprise. Quote, "We had to surprise them, and we did. Because of that surprise, the first 2 days we probably knocked out 50% of much more than we anticipated doing. And if I go and tell everybody about it, it's no longer a surprise." End quote.
Right.
What the hell was that? Where was there any thought in that?
There wasn't. It just came off the
literally
top of his head.
No.
Come right
a
off his
paragraph
shitty
of
ass.
words.
Sorry.
I lost brain cells reading that.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's what that's what you say when your diaper's full.
Right. When you got to scoot side to side so it doesn't.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
the biggest word he used in there was anticipated. And this is why MAGA loves him.
Right.
Because
they speak his language.
He speaks at a third grade level. He doesn't use the large words.
Right.
No, he doesn't. I'm going to pull somebody else up here that we know. If he comes up, there he is. Howard
There's
from
Howard.
Western Minnesota, blue dot in a red area. Howard, how are you doing? What are you thinking about?
I'm good, Mike. How are all you guys?
Doing well.
Pretty good.
Good.
I was thinking, we're gonna probably be in war with China here pretty soon, and he's trying to cut off their oil. But I've been studying China, and they got all that renewable energy. I don't think that oil crisis is gonna hurt them as much as what people think it is.
Well, I think you're right there, Howard.
Yeah, I do too.
They're doing a lot when it comes to renewables, and then you got an idiot in charge who thinks windmills cause cancer and affect whales, and wants to get rid of solar. And other countries are going to move ahead of us because he doesn't understand science. He doesn't understand it. We don't need it.
Well, from the reading go ahead.
Go ahead, Howard.
From the reading that I've done, China, they've taken, how we take so much money than other countries have developed, try to develop our military. They took like enough more money than 4 or 5 other countries. One year they developed their solar. One year they developed their wind. Another year they put in the transmission lines. Now they're developing their battery stations to store this power. And Trump, he shut down all of our renewable energies, trying to feed us the bullshit that it's not economical to do it that way. The government of China owns the electrical over there, and the average electrical bill is like $26 a month. I pay over $200.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse. I just want to mention something. Default name says if the Save America Act passes, Trump and Netanyahu wins. I'm going to tell you right now, the Save America Act is not going to pass. They need 60 votes in the Senate. They only have 53 Republicans. Some of them aren't even going to sign on to it, and certainly none of the Democrats are. There's no way it passes. Well, except Fetterman. Fuck him.
I was going to say, Fetterman can't save him again.
No, Fetterman can't save him.
I don't think that'll pass either.
I'll tell you.
Aren't some
it won't
states
pass.
putting it forward just for their state? Some of them red states.
Well,
so
yes,
they're not doing it federally, but they're going to try to do it with their own individual state.
Good.
I can
tell
you
that's what I say too. But
I can tell you one thing for sure, because being a Pennsylvanian, John Fetterman is finished in the next primary. I can tell you that with 100% certainty.
Well,
yeah, he should be.
The big thing about the SAVE Act, as much as people are afraid of it actually passing and it changing how we vote and who can vote and all of that, it's not going to pass. It's DOA. But beyond that, he can't do it with an executive order. He's already tried. That got overturned by the courts.
Right.
But the real reason they're pushing it is for a talking point. John Dewey came out and said it. He said, if you guys don't vote for it, we're going to run ads saying you want illegal immigrants to vote. And it's all about creating an appearance that there's something going wrong with our elections, so they have an excuse for why they've lost. They have ads to attack the Democrats and hopefully, gin up a bunch of fear and get the Republicans out voting against Democrats again. They don't care if it passes. They've got their talking point.
Right.
You're exactly right. What Donald Trump is doing, what he did in 2024, what he did in 2020, he creates this controversy or these accusations. Not so much that he thinks he's going to do anything with it. He's not going to pass the SAVE Act. They're talking about it in the Senate because Donald Trump wants him to. They all know it's not going to pass. But that's what Donald Trump does. He sets the groundwork so that he can complain and whine and piss and moan like a little bitch about what happened. And then he thinks he has some leverage to convince people. When Donald Trump knows he's going to lose, he starts making excuses before he even loses. And that's what he's doing here.
Right. And since we're talking about bills that are could potentially pass or not pass, it was really nice to wake up to a text message this morning from TJ letting me know that the bill in Florida was shot down where they tried to stop cousins from marrying each other. The Republicans said, oh no, we're keeping that.
Well,
Oh, yuck.
it explains
My
a lot.
Yeah, it does explain a lot. Why do they want to marry their cousins so bad? I don't fucking get it. You know, my cousins were perfectly lovely people. They were younger than I was, but never had any interest in marrying them. Maybe it's because I'm not a backwoods hillbilly like half these motherfuckers are.
Going to the family reunion to find a date.
Yeah, well, they can't find anybody else to agree with them, so they got to go to the family reunion.
But Mike, if
Yeah.
you need a bill passed to say that you should not do that, and then that bill gets knocked down, that's bad. I'm sorry. That's bad.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. It's pretty ridiculous. I'm going to see if there's somebody else out here
All right,
that
you
wants to
can
get up
drop
here.
me down, Mike.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Howard, for coming on, and we'll no
Yep,
doubt hear
thank
from
you.
you again sometime soon. That
All
is
right.
Howard from Minnesota, my home state. We talk to Howard quite a lot. He's an old guy like me, and we talk about some of the shit that's going on in this state with ICE. Make no mistake, it's still going on in Minnesota with ICE. Maybe not to the level it once was, but we still have about 650 ICE members here. They aren't being well received, but they're still stirring some shit up.
Well, can we talk about lovely Liam real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring that up.
Yeah. So today, one of the judges decided that she would allow the Trump administration to send Liam and his family back to Ecuador. And
Right.
they said that they were going to, his lawyers were going to appeal it, but they said the appeal could last 5 to 10 years. So they're pretty much giving up and on their way to Ecuador.
Wow. You know, and that surprises me too for all the shit and all the backlash they got for putting little Liam in a fucking detention camp. If I was Donald Trump, I'd say just leave that one alone. We don't need that kind of negative publicity. If they, in fact, do deport Liam and his dad, we need to stir this shit back up. We need to start talking about it again. They deserve the negative press. It's fucking ridiculous. It's just them not wanting to be wrong. And I don't know what's the deal with this judge, but we should address that judge too.
Yeah. That just kind of goes back to what you say, right? About the narcissism. Like he just can't lose. You know what I mean?
No, he can't. He can't admit he's wrong. I'm going to pull up somebody else we know, Matrix. Hey, Matrix, how you doing? What's up with you?
Hi. Okay, so we've got Liam's family, which makes no sense. That would be his mom and dad, and Liam and his younger sister would have to go to a family member to be taken care of because they're both U.S. citizens. So you can't. I mean, we're not supposed to be deporting U.S. citizens, correct?
Exactly.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good
So-
point, Matrix.
You've got that one going on. Then you've got this madness with what's the frontal temporal lobe going after Comey again? What the is? Please explain that craziness. He's going to investigate Comey as far back as when Comey was second in command under President Obama. What?
Because he can't let it go.
What? I'm sorry. Right now, I used to say that Obama was living rent free, but damn it, he's got a whole community now in the man's head.
It's
Yeah.
only going to get worse.
It's like this
And
is ridiculous.
why are we talking about deportation when oil's at $116 a barrel? When it was
Thank you.
67, it's almost doubled from February 27th.
That's literally 3 weeks. Literally 3 weeks. I was just telling my mom I was at Costco 3 weeks ago, and I was literally doing like the happy dance at the pump
Yeah,
because it was $2.29 at my
yeah.
local Costco. I go to my local gas station now, and they have the audacity to say 3.99. I'm going, why don't you just put it at $4 and call it a day?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
3.99.
exactly.
And you got a Hemi, so that's even worse.
Thank you. I've got a
Uh,
Hemi. So you can imagine how pissed off I was.
well, Mike, I heard a Republican senator say right before I got on this call, he had the, as my son would say, unmitigated gall to say, why don't they just stop drinking Starbucks or have one less Starbucks and they can afford their freaking gas? And I'm like,
That was the same one who, oh no, did she take the talking point from the young man that was saying, well, now people on WIC can't get Pepsis or whatever. And I'm like, does he not realize the food deserts that there are, that some people have to drive over a mile just to get to a local grocery store that has vegetables?
Right.
Well,
Well, I don't care.
I've been following the guideline. I've been eating a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli,
bullshit.
Oh,
and one other thing.
so you've been doing the $3. You've been doing the
This
$3 guideline.
bullshit.
Yes, I've been following.
I don't like
Oh my
chicken.
gosh. Wait, is your chicken boiled? Because you know you can't have seasonings. That
I'm
will
not
make it
English,
$3.
so no.
Ugh,
But you are white, so it is unseasoned.
it's unseasoned still.
He just eats your broccoli right out of the yard. He don't care.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Real man.
And the idea
No,
of
thank you.
quitting Starbucks and getting a $6 coffee, and then you'll be able to afford gas. Well, that amounts to 1 gallon of gas. And I don't know about you, when I go to the gas station, I need more than a gallon of gas.
Yeah.
Their whole explanation for this thing is just absolute bullshit. They're trying to make it out not to be a big deal. Donald Trump says, well, it's going to go up. I thought it was going to be worse, but it's going to come down. He keeps pushing the goalposts back. Next month, when it's worse, and the month after that, when it's worse, it's going to
the
go
summer
really
months.
badly for Donald Trump.
The summer months are going to make his head blow up.
Yeah.
Mike, have you
White House
ever heard of the
isn't it
Jones
happening?
Act?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. He's trying to pull up the Jones Act. I think it's the Jones Act. And I've got to research that. But he's trying to use that for fuel or whatever.
What?
Are you talking
Yeah,
about the reserve stuff?
Yeah, I caught it yesterday when I was heavily medicated. But he's trying to pull up some 1963 or 1939 Jones Act or Ed Act or something like that to offset the price of fuel.
I'm going to pull it up here and see what the fuck it is.
Got it right here.
Okay.
Thing. It says Donald Trump waived the Central Jones Act in an effort to lower oil and gas prices. The maritime law requiring all vessels carrying goods between two U.S. ports to be American built and owned is now waived for 60 days.
That ain't going to do
basically,
shit.
Oil is not coming from
He's a
US
fucking
port.
idiot, bro. Jesus Christ.
Well, Eric and I were talking about him selling oil out of the Strategic Reserve, the SPR.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And so, even if he does that, I told Eric, I'm like, it's 24 days. Like, all they could sell is 24 days worth of relief. That's it.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And where's the same outrage from MAGA that there was over Joe Biden selling oil out of the Strategic Reserve when
That's
Biden
not
did
going
it?
to happen. Their
It
Lord and
was
Savior, they're not going to question their Lord and Savior.
well,
Come
when
on.
Biden sold it though, he sold it at a profit and made us a whole shit ton of money, with money there to buy more oil for the Strategic Reserve. What happened to that money? It got returned to Congress because they didn't spend it,
Right.
and it got
But that's
cut
not
as
going to
part of the
happen
Doge
with him.
cuts.
Right. Well, people seem
Yeah.
to forget that when you sell money from the SPR, it has to be approved by Congress. People seem to forget that. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Congress is so-called in session, but at the same time, they're not doing their job. So
No, they're not, because they haven't come to the realization that Donald Trump is going to screw them over at every possible turn.
Mhm.
They haven't realized how bad he is for them.
And while they are in session and not doing anything, we still have a DHS shutdown. People from the TSA, the Coast Guard are not getting paid.
Yep.
The Democrats have offered to
Do a separate
agree
bill.
to everything else with everybody except ICE, and Republicans have turned it down every time. So if you're in TSA or Coast Guard or somebody who's not getting paid, don't blame the Democrats. The Democrats are trying every possible way to get you paid, but the Republicans refuse to do it, just so they can have their way with ICE.
Bills. So far, they've put
Yeah.
4 bills up to actually separate the two.
Well, did you hear the Trump administration has offered some concessions,
Oh,
trying
wow.
to
I
reopen the
bet.
government? And it's limited body cams, which we've already said. But no, they got to stay masked. For their own safety, the officers have to stay masked. But they said, well, we would agree to stop deporting American citizens.
Oh, so they
What the?
they,
Oh,
they
what a
openly
concession
admitted
that
they
is.
were deporting Americans.
What a concession! They're going to follow the frickin' law.
Come on, bro. Is somebody going to
You
write
know
a
what?
Humpty Dumpty book about this?
Nah, man. We need a Dr. Seuss for this one.
Yeah, no shit. You know what's interesting? All the demands the Democrats made about ICE were all promised to us in the Constitution. They weren't asking for any favors. They were asking these dumb fucks to follow the Constitution, and the Republicans say no.
Great
So what
point,
does that
Mike.
fucking tell you?
That's a great point, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, they're not asking for anything, in my opinion, that is too out there or too crazy. They just want, protection, Fourth Amendment protections, due process. And
Well, wait. I didn't hear you say one big thing. Besides removing the masks, what about them having their badge numbers?
I don't remember if the administration was willing to allow that or not.
Ugh. Wow.
Well, what do they say, Eric? We don't have badge numbers. We're federal. We don't need badge numbers.
They do need badge numbers. If the FBI has a badge number, they should have a badge number.
Absolutely.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Wow. Matrix, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I got another lovely lady, optimistic, we need to bring up, and
Miss
British
Patsy.
John is hanging out in a corner someplace waiting to come up. So I appreciate it, Matrix. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Matrix.
All right. Let's see who's still out there. Yeah, there she is. Optimistic, our ray of sunshine that we like to bring on the show from time to time when we're in all these trials and tribulations and turmoils and tragedies and stuff. We got one smiling face with a sunny disposition. Optimistic. Hey, thanks very much for joining us. What's on your mind?
Hey, you guys.
Hey.
Yeah, optimistic.
Well, this story is in poor taste. When you guys were talking about no,
You come to the right place. You come to the right place for poor taste.
You got that right.
when Trucker was talking about being able to marry your cousin. Do y'all not remember when Jerry Springer was on?
Jerry.
I try to forget that time in my life, Mister.
Oh no!
I don't, because I had hair back then.
I will never forget this episode. This is when trash TV completely turned. They had this woman up with her husband, and she was saying, "Yes, I'm leaving my husband. He just doesn't understand me." They brought out the guy that she was leaving her husband for. It was her brother. And the crowd went crazy.
Oh,
They started
my
screaming.
God.
Incest whore. Incest whore. I'm sorry. It's in poor taste for
Oh
me.
my
I was
God.
like,
Mystic, I've lost a feather for
Let
you.
me guess. They were from Arkansas.
no, they never said what state they were from, but it was
It was
delicious.
Arkansas. It was
TJ,
definitely Arkansas.
Indiana is the
Okay.
same way. We've got a cousin law on our books. You can legally marry your cousin here in Indiana.
But this
Wow.
was her brother.
Jesus
What
Christ.
people don't know, Optimistic, is that guy on that show,
Mhm.
nowadays he's a member of ICE. So he's come full circle.
Gabrielle said Duggar. Remember the Duggar family?
Tucker,
I just thought of that episode when you guys were talking about the law.
Well, I appreciate that, Optimistic, dragging us down to the gutter.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
amazing
better.
how one of my texts to Trucker T could create such a stir.
Hey, you should have saw me laughing when I saw it this morning.
I know. That's why I fucking sent it to you.
Usually we would have to wait for a British John, but now Optimistic has stepped up.
Yeah,
That's what I
I'm
was
just,
thinking. Like,
I mean, that's just the first I thought of.
Here, here.
Yeah. She said her
Well,
husband did not know her the way her brother did.
Well, I guess not. I guess not. Wow. There are still people out there like that, and it's frustrating, and it seems to be they're all Republicans, and even more so, they all tend to be Trump-la-fuck. So, maybe we ought to just cordon off a part of the country, let them go do whatever the fuck they're going to do, and ultimately they'll eliminate themselves.
Well, we know what they're going to do. They're going to do their relatives.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, Optimistic, thank you very much. I'm going to have to think about that one for a while. I appreciate it.
I'm
And
sorry.
no. It's fine. It's fine. I want to keep this thing running for at least another half hour or so.
Yes,
Thank you, Mystic. I love that.
You guys definitely need to change the story. Have a
Hey.
wonderful night.
Mystic, I love
You
that
too.
segment. Thank you.
Hey, some congratulations are in order.
What's that?
I'm an hour into this thing and I haven't got a violation yet.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
no,
wow.
you fixed it.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe the TikTok gods are looking kindly on you today. So let's just appreciate
fairness-
it. And
In fairness, I bought something on the TikTok shop today, so maybe I'm safe.
Oh, that's the trick?
I guess.
that's probably
Great.
true. That's probably all right. I'm going to pull somebody else up here. Steph Vasquez. Hey, Steph, how you doing? What's on your mind today?
I'm like very upset about what's going on in the world. My dad is a veteran, Vietnam, 68 through 70. He did not land in Vietnam. He jumped off of a plane during the Tet Offensive. So he went through the Tet Offensive. He went through Hamburger Hill, and he is seriously concerned about his grandbabies and my grandsons, his great grandbabies, being, having to go to fight a war that Trump is starting.
You mean the draft? Is that what you're concerned about?
Oh, we're definitely concerned about this. And we have to do something. I am researching, I'm trying to find things. Just, why aren't we doing anything to get Trump out of office? Why aren't we getting rid of his administration?
Because there's not much we can do.
So many veterans that, we don't want our babies to go through this.
Well, the reason nobody's doing anything is because Republicans are in control and they're too cowardly to do anything. They're riding this for all it's worth, and when it's all over, they're going to act like they had nothing to do with it. But we need to remember, the the Republicans are the ones that could have done something about this from day one, and they chose not to, either because they're complicit or because they're cowards. But when it's all said and done, if you're looking for somebody to blame, it is the Republicans in Congress because they have the power to change it.
I feel that too. Do feel that too. And I'm wondering what it's like. I'm not going to say the things I'm thinking, like they might have caught him messing with the sheep or something like that.
Oh God.
I am
Wow.
so done with what's going on. What's going on is like beyond, it's like everything Trump has ever touched has turned to shit. Not just his casinos and everything he's done, all his bankruptcies, but it's proven. Now, look what's happening to us and the disrespect he's giving to our allies. I'm
Yeah.
just so done with everything. I mean, why isn't, I mean, I'm just so frustrated with all our politicians. What
He
can
doesn't
we
care
It
do
is
about our
frustrating.
to
allies.
make a difference? Come on, guys. Let's come up with ideas. What do we need to do to make a difference? Because you know what? Our country is in trouble. The whole world is in trouble. And you know
That's
The
why
whole
we
what?
win
world
the
is in
midterm.
trouble.
And you know what? I was a little girl in the 70s. I remember when you had to get in line and you had certain license plates. I remember waiting for hours down in the Central Valley. And I remember like even cars would run out of gas and we had to push them to the pumps. I was a
Right.
very little girl. And I think it's going to be worse now than it was then. What are we going to do? What do we need to do to make a difference? Why are so many Republicans, although they have said privately to other people that they agree, why isn't anybody doing anything? What kind of stuff do they have on them? Like I said, it could be with sheep. I don't know. But yeah, you know what?
Well, they
We
are
working
cowards.
our
They are
asses
cowards.
off. We are working our asses off. We're getting nickeled and dimed on everything. If you use your credit card or your debit card from the bank or anything, we're getting nickeled and dimed for everything. There's so many people. I feel so sorry for people that they are going to have nothing. I mean, people that are on Snap and stuff like that, how are they going to live? People are going to starve to death. I'm pissed off.
That's a good
Republicans don't
question.
care if those people live. They don't care at all.
No,
But
they
guess
don't care
what?
at all, even if they're their constituents.
And it pisses me off because they're the ones, these are true Americans that will give everything. That will give everything to save our country. And the ones that work the hardest are the ones that care most about the country. Those that are billionaires and millionaires get away with everything, child molesters and all that stuff. I am so done with this. Something needs to happen.
Well, I've said before, and I'll say it again. Unfortunately, when we're talking about members of Congress on the Republican side and the Trumplefucks in general, it's almost as if we have to have a catastrophic crash, something horrible happen before people will wake up or at least own up to the fact that Donald Trump is a enemy of this country and all the people in it. We still have people in Congress that will stand with him, even if they may talk against him behind the scenes, up front and in public. They stand with him. They make excuses. They apologize for him. It's going to take something bad, I think. And, we're very close to a lot of bad things with the oil the way it is and the Epstein files, more and more information coming out. It's going to get real ugly. And that's one of the things you have to understand with narcissists. It always ends up this way. They get cornered. They don't know what to do, so they do everything, and it gets to be a huge mess. And very often they bring people down with them. And that's kind of the stage we're at with Donald Trump at this point. He's spiraling. He's going to crash, and he's going to take a bunch of people down with him when he does it.
Hey, Mike, can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
In times like these, right? We have to keep a level head. Anger is good as long as it's directed in the right areas.
Yeah.
We can't let that anger get to the point where we can't put two sentences together. We have to put our anger together at the voting polls. Get your neighbor to go to the
Right.
poll. Get your son, your daughter, get your friends to go to the polls. As Mike said earlier, if we outvote them, we can eradicate this problem. And I use that word because that's the word that he uses, eradicate. So,
Right. Well, the other thing we have to do too. Go ahead.
So, yes, we do need to go out and vote. But the thing is that they are trying to make laws like that. What is it? The SAVE Act. It's no different than the
Yeah.
Real ID. So, back in the old days, back in 2005, the Real ID was started as a result of 9/11. That you had to have certain things to be able to vote. But it didn't go through totally. Not all states agreed with it, right?
Right.
So the thing is that if they pass the SAVE Act, so then that makes it, I don't know if it's going to hurt Democrats or independents or Republicans, because it depends. It's hard for women to get the correct indicia to be able to vote if the SAFE Act goes through.
right. Well, let me ask you this.
It would hurt everyone, but the bottom line
It's not going to pass.
It's not going
Right.
to pass.
It's not
Mike's
gonna
right.
pass.
No, absolutely
it's
not.
DOA.
It's dead on arrival.
But seriously, are you really sure? You know what? There's been things that have
I'm
happened.
sure.
I don't know. The way things are going, I've seen things that I thought would not pass, and they have passed.
Well, let me ask you this.
I can.
Do you think the people in the hills of Kentucky can go out and spend $200 on a passport?
I absolutely believe that they can't. You know what? There are people that are above middle class that can't, especially women, that cannot get the information they need to be able to get all the information to be able to have a real ID or whatever they decide for the SAFE Act.
Well, Steph, I just want to say this. This is one of those things that the Republicans like to cause concern with Democrats about. It's not going to pass, and I'll tell you why it's not going to pass. It has to pass in the Senate with 60 votes. Republicans only have 53 votes. They need 7 or 8 Democrats to pass it. The Democrats aren't going to vote for it. And on top of that, there are some Republicans that won't vote for it. The reason they're talking about it so much is because that's what Donald Trump wants. He wants the noise, but it's not going to pass. The Republicans don't want it any more than the Democrats. Some will, because they understand it's going to hurt Republicans more so than Democrats. It's not going to pass. So there's really no reason to get all worked up about it. It's just not, it's dead on arrival. Most people who are in Congress are saying that anyway.
John Fetterman will vote for it.
Yeah, but fuck John Fetterman. He's a piece of shit.
But listen, my husband said, hit me. But anyways, I'm going to say this is that I really don't trust what's going on. The things that I thought were going to be cool and just pass and that people would understand. And like what's going on with the, with what's going on with like, the different committees, for like about the Epstein files and stuff, things that I thought were just very like, it's there you have the proof. But it's lopsided because of what is going on, that Republicans have the hierarchy in everything that's going on. So, I just don't trust my government. I don't trust anything to do with my government. I believe that I don't know what to believe, honestly. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I really don't trust my government right now.
And you should not.
I don't think anybody does.
Well,
No,
I
you
do.
shouldn't trust the
Scary.
government.
You know
when
what's
it
scary?
comes,
My father was a Bronze Star hero. And, you know, he always taught me as a child never disrespect the president. And for the first time in my life, my dad said, "You can hate that SOB all you want because I hate him too."
Yeah, I think a lot of
well,
people feel like
we
that.
all do.
And I'm very disappointed of what's going on. I don't like what's, you know, I've never been so disappointed in my country ever, ever.
No, I agree. It's they keep telling us it's the greatest country in the world, and frankly, at this point, it's not. And I'm sorry to say that, but
Absolutely
it's
not.
not. Steph, thank you for joining us. We're getting down closer
Thank
to
you
the
for
end. I
having
got a
me.
few more people I want to get up, but I appreciate you taking the time, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, Rational Boomer. I really appreciate you. I highly respect you. And thank you to everybody that listened to my opinion.
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate that. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are afraid, and it's you have good reason to be afraid at this point. Somebody that TJ the plumber invited, Gary Grack. Let's see if he comes up. I'm going to take Gary Grack, and then maybe if British John's still out there, I already got a
Hey,
violation, so
What's up,
well,
keep
Gary?
it clean.
I will keep it clean. TJ, congratulations not being kicked off tonight, as always. Mike, congratulations on all the followers. I've been following you for about 3 years now.
Thank you.
Where do we start today? I don't even know what to say. Gas went up to $3.99. Diesel went up to 5.69. And he's sitting in the office with Japan's prime minister, I believe, and saying that, look at Pearl Harbor, and we look like such fools in the country, in the world right now, Mike.
We do.
And I don't even know, people are scared, but I think, like you guys talk about all the time, he does the narrative where he starts something and then his followers believe it. And then they just keep putting it on the news over and over again. And then here we are, 3 weeks into this so-called war that he believes is, was justified. And we are going to see this thing go on for months. And like TJ said earlier, we are going to go into a recession and it's going to destroy the economy. Economy that Joe Biden brought back. He did,
Yeah.
That he brought back from
Uh,
Trump's destruction.
Oh
That's,
yes,
you know what I
yes,
mean?
yeah. And I've disconnected from the national news because they're not giving us what we want to see. I find my
no.
sources outside and I read about it. I did read a very good article the other day about the moderate Democrats, not the far left, and the moderate Republicans, not the far right, are going to vote for the Democrats come the midterms that are more down the center. And I believe that. I truly believe that's going to happen. I do. I just can't imagine us having to suffer for 3 more fucking years. I just said it. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
No, I
Well,
agree. You can
Gary,
say fuck, but
the big arch is out right now, so we might have hope that this is going to be the end of it.
Oh, the new product, as
Yeah,
they
the new
call it.
product, the big arch.
I didn't see that. What's he have out now?
McDonald's, bro.
Oh my
McDonald's
God.
has a new hit fucking product out there, the big arch.
Oh
So
God.
yeah.
God help us, because anytime he opens up his mouth, it's almost like I'm trying to figure out the stock market, because it's, he does something stupid, it drops, they buy up probably all the stock, him and all his cronies, and then the next day it kind of sort of recovers but never really recovers, and there's people that are losing so much money because of one idiot. It's caused by one idiotic person that a bunch of idiots voted into office.
yeah, I hear you, man. I'm down $22,000.
I won't, TJ, I won't even look at it. That's my thought process right now.
I'm not going to worry about it.
No. But
And
you know what,
I will
guys? I think that since everyone that comes on your show, Mike, we're all about the same thing. We all just want what's best for America. Where I hear these people say, "Oh, the Republicans, they're patriots." If you're a true patriot, what's going on in our country right now, you would want to beat the shit out of someone and say, "Why are you doing this to our people? Our people are going to starve. They are."
Well, we should encourage Donald Trump to get the big arch because, as I understand it, you buy the big arch for about $10, and you get a coupon for 20% off an angioplasty. And Donald Trump would look at that as universal health care and wouldn't accept it.
Well, Mike, I think you're my age, and I try to stay away from that stuff as much as I can.
I do.
I try, but sometimes you just want it.
Somebody in the comments said that it was pretty good, so I don't know.
It's hard for me to stay away from because my granddaughter thinks it's the greatest restaurant ever, and she wants to go there from time to time. So sometimes I have to go.
Well, thanks for letting me get on tonight, guys. And TJ, I hope Becca feels better.
Yep. No.
And
I'll let her know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And thanks again for all you guys are putting out there, man. Keep talking it. Keep saying it loud.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon, motherfucker.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely.
Hey, Mike,
Thank you, Gary.
Before you go to the next one, can we touch on Corey Lewandowski and his what do they call his
crimes?
Fee?
It's called crimes.
Yeah, his crime fee, right? There's a fee he put out for people, allegedly TikTok, to do business with the government. He had to get his take first. And that goes directly in line with him saying I can do whatever the fuck I want to do because Trump will pardon me.
Right.
Hey, trucker.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't bet
If I take a fucking pencil, I got to report it to the federal government or I go to jail. This motherfucker's taking bribes.
Service fee.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. What the fuck?
Service fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Corey Lewandowski is a special piece of shit. I mean, from abusing women to stealing money and to being arrogant. And you got to question his judgment, too, if he's sleeping with Christy Nome, for God's sake, that plastic Barbie.
Yeah.
That was easy access, Mike. Easy access.
I'm going to put the cherry on top, so to speak. Oh, I just hit him and he didn't come up.
What?
I hit British John. It didn't come up.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, TikTok is weird, bro. It does that shit to me all the time.
It is weird. I'm going to go with this one. And I hit another one and it doesn't come on. Come on, TikTok, for fuck's sake. Let's pick it up here. How the fuck? They keep saying, have guests on the show. And I do, and then people just drop off.
Like when I'm on Eric's live, and when I don't mean to bring you up, and I hit the wrong button, and you know what I mean?
Let me try
TikTok
this.
is jacked.
Yeah, it is.
Let me try this again. Hold on. I tried something. Let's see.
Okay, we got Easy Man. How you doing? What's on your mind?
Well, hello, Easy Man.
Apparently he's taking it easy.
That's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning.
Well, as we're in the home stretch here, here's one I know will come up. And if we're not careful, she'll take us into hour 3.
No.
No, she just got up for her 2-day restriction. She's got to be careful.
Okay. What the fuck? It's JoJo. Hey, JoJo.
I just had to come up and say hello to my Mr. Chuck T there. If you don't recall the other day.
What the fuck?
No, I was on his live after you closed down shop, and I got banned twice under 2 different accounts on 2 different phones while I was on his live. And then I got restricted on another live, and I haven't been able to do a live for 2 days. It's just, there's the complications that we're dealing with at the moment. I don't remember who just said they're down 22,000. I wish it was only 22,000. We are in the turmoil of our lifetimes. I'm glad my mother and father are not here to witness this. The things they struggled through as both being the first generation Americans coming from immigrant parents, and that they rose them, in their lifetime to middle class, just middle class, middle class, nothing super duper, but they came from poverty. To see what's happened to the country would literally unalive them all over again.
Can I ask where they originated from?
Italy, both Italian.
Okay, my wife, she's from Rimini. And
Yes.
Yep.
And so, well, technically, to an Italian that wants to make an argument, my mom was part Sicilian, so some of the Italians like to tell you that doesn't make you 100% Italian, but we'll go with it for now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
people are pissed, though. People are pissed, and justifiably so.
That woman
people
that was
don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, she was just talking about her level of, fear and uncertainty that really is wrecking people's everyday life, even if they're trying to live somewhat normally, because they have to go to work and they have to take care of their responsibilities and they need to go to school and family. It's just it's a dark cloud over everybody right now. And I don't even think, personally, I'm going to say this, I can't really speak for anyone else. I don't really think that it's any one thing. It is now accumulated to such a level that there's no direction you can look in and feel ease.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it's a shame because this country has done some things that were pretty awful in its history, but we also made a lot of breakthroughs, and we've really gone back 50, 60 years, even worse.
But there's something I look at. It doesn't necessarily give me ease, but it gives me hope.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't believe he makes it to 2029. He doesn't make it to the end of his term. It just doesn't happen.
And I would tend to feel similarly because of multiple reasons, least of which is his age and health. But we still have all the rest of them to deal with, right?
Oh,
when
we
he
have the rest to
goes,
deal with, but
there's people ready to step right in.
But nobody's as strong as he is. Everything kind of falls apart. If you got J.D. Vance as president, it's a much different situation. He doesn't have the respect of the Republicans or the Trumplefucks. It's not going to be good, but it won't be this bad.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that if he has to take over, he is going to be given very explicit instructions by the Republican Party to right the ship. And a bunch of this bullshit's going to end. He's never going to blame Trump for it. It's just going to be, we're going to quietly end this, quietly end that. And it's just going to be, we stop hearing about it because they're stopping doing it. And a bunch of the people in the administration are going to get the heave-ho, and they'll bring in new people. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're right. My issue was more about the people behind the scenes that are really running the show, because he's a loose cannon, and the next guy they get in, they're going to follow their orders to a T, and it may be worse.
I don't think it'll be worse.
I don't think that's going to happen with JD, because JD's not nearly as easily manipulated as Donald Trump.
I hope you're right. This is the times when I would rather be wrong than right. Trust me when I tell you.
As far as Mike, as far as I can see, British John is in the queue.
All right, okay, I'm going to put a bow on this bitch. I'm going to put a bow on this bitch.
Okay,
and
you're talking about me.
No, not you. I'm talking about British John. British John, how you doing? Good to see you back. I tried punching you up early, and you weren't there, and we thought something happened. So we're glad to have you back. What's on your mind?
Well, I mean, it's these days you're always wondering who you're going to be talking about politics with next. And just yesterday, someone was explaining to me that while Trump's talking about Iran, Jay's dad was talking about running a train on his mom.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh, Mary.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yikes.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but, it is British.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's my
you
own
knew.
fault.
The trick
It's
is
my
to
own
make
fault.
the trick is to give you hope, so I can snatch it away.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
least you're consistent.
That is true.
How did you like Donald Trump's little joke, his little quip, historically speaking, regarding Pearl Harbor?
I haven't heard it. I literally just heard about it. I haven't actually heard the actual joke. I don't need to. I would imagine it wasn't particularly professional or well punched up.
Nope.
This is a man who has a lot of criticism for Saturday Night Live, but very little of the talents. Just, you know.
I tell people all the time that if you're not funny, don't try to be funny. And he should take that advice because he's not funny. He's not clever.
Don't you ever tell British John that?
I was about to say we've both said that. We've both said that to TJ a number of times. Does he listen? No,
he doesn't.
Much like he's tone deaf and deaf at the same time. It's sad, really.
Now, British John, you have experience in the military intelligence. You see what's going on with Iran, how we keep getting fucked up. Israel goes and bombs this gas field that's going to cause all kinds of problems. What are your thoughts about what's going on now and where we're headed? Because it doesn't look good.
Well, it depends on which side you're looking at this from. I think Israel is doing a fantastic job for Israel.
Don't you think they're taking some hits, though? I mean, they're getting some shit blown up.
Not anything important. I mean, you have to, and I'm very careful here, boys and girls, because I have worked with the Israel's people, for want of a phrase, for various departments over my lifetime. They paid for a good chunk of my mortgage. They deal with the numbers very differently than we do. And they face and cause a reality themselves. So, you know, how do I put this? The sacrifice of an Israeli troop is measured, or is always measured, and it is paid for. It really is. Mr. Trump doesn't hold that same equation.
Right.
It's not in his ability. And by the way, boys and girls, I am not saying that is a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I am being very cold and clinical for a very good reason, because my friends in Israel are very cold and clinical about these things.
Right.
A wasted life is a waste is actually this. I'm sorry, I can't do that in Hebrew, but it's a key phrase. Sorry, a sacrificed life is a waste. Is the phrase. They have their own plan, and they got Uncle Donnie. They manipulated and hoodwinked him beautifully. A chef's kiss of social engineering. Let me just say, boys and girls, they did a fantastic. You might not agree with it. I don't, but you cannot say they weren't successful in getting what they wanted. I mean, it's you know, but also let's look at the person that's doing this. Netanyahu doesn't have the PDF issue. No, he's got court cases for criminality against him. So, you know, he has his own reasons for distraction. He also has a lifetime of animus against Iran. And I'm kicking my own. I mean, we would be in this same situation, by the way, if Sharon was in power. You have that it would be exactly the same situation, and Sharon would not hold back even for a second. It would be, it would be.
John, I have a decent question for you, because this falls right in line with what you're talking about right now. So I've seen a lot of conversations where Trump says, "Hey, we didn't hit that particular thing. Bibi did, and I called him and told him to stop it." and they're saying no, 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 no. We're in a direct alliance together. So which one is true? Is he striking things that, you know what I mean?
Both things can be true. I want to be clear about this. I know the phrase is two things can be true. This is that situation. I can't tell you which one is true, but I can tell you that Trump is a fantastic patsy. He doesn't know what he knows.
Right.
And Pete Hegseth, I mean, oh my God. Does he know he's not running a game show? Ladies and gentlemen, let's look on the score. Today, 12,000 people were killed. I mean, I can't use the language on that, man. I mean, this isn't red meat. This is cholesterol and diabetes. I mean, this is... it is... Is he auditioning for the Running Man to actually be the... I mean, it's... yeah.
Well, it's not the Bachelorette because they canceled that because she beat up her boyfriend.
Yeah. It's more like the hunger, when he says stuff like, it costs a lot of money to unalive bad guys. I mean, it's just so unserious, and it is embarrassing. And Donald Trump just eats that shit up. He loves the tough-talking people and the blunt people, even if they happen to be stupid. And, Pete Hegseth he's like a frat boy that I knew in college that we would beat up because he was a dipshit. And it's...
I want to...
I'm serious.
I'm going to be serious for a moment just because I need to put the qualification in place. Look, I've been to bad places. I've done bad things. And I make jokes about it. The reason I make jokes about it is because otherwise it's terrifying. Like, that is the compartmentalization I have to do. And occasionally I will use it in my act. I will use it with a civilian if they're being an asshole to me. One of my favorites is, I'm not saying you're ugly. I have two body counts, my friend. One's the number of women I've slept with. One's the number of people I've called in airstrikes against. And I make I make light of it because I have to acknowledge the fact that it's part of me.
Right.
I've seen the tape. I saw where the munitions entered the building. I saw it. Okay, and I have to live with the consequences of that. Pete Hegseth doesn't live with the consequences of that. He's not even sober.
Oh,
no. For him, it is arcade TV, what we used to call arcade TV. It might as well be it might as well be TikTok for him when he's watching military replays. I mean, in fact, he's probably saying, we could put that on TikTok. We should monetize that. It's... These are...
Well, it's like Donald Trump taking the transfer of the bodies from Iran and using that to fundraise for what I don't know. He's not running for anything again, but he keeps fundraising, and now he's using the deaths of military people to benefit him in the process.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And I've said this, and I hate to say I mean it to the people who are offended. What I'm about to say, but I do mean it. Those soldiers and service people that have given their life so far to protect Donald and the files, God bless you. I wouldn't do it.
No.
But I'm sorry, that's what happened. Those three people that were on the KC-135, they gave their lives to protect the details of an island, and it was not the oil refinery one. This is not a war that America needed, not a war that was required. What intel I do have, by the way, is that Israel offered a better deal with deeper, more frequent inspections than under Obama. They knew that they had no doubt that Uncle Donnie would do something stupid, and they offered a very sweet deal. And that sweet deal wasn't enough because he felt it would be seen as caving to people that wear dresses. That's how his mind works. I mean, you're not dealing with this is not a man who is able to respect any culture that doesn't eat burnt meat.
Yeah. With ketchup.
A steak with ketchup.
I swear, can you not? You should be taken off TikTok just for saying that. Whichever one of them. I can't see.
It doesn't come from McDonald's.
You're not making it better. Okay. I would put you on a no. I would hack you and put you on the no-fly list if I thought you could afford airfare with Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
I tell you, the other day I was actually looking at airfares for an upcoming trip. It was crazy. They want $19 for the airfare, but it's a $60 bag fee, and I thought my wife's not that ugly.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
I'm gonna snitch on you, motherfucker.
My wife.
How does your innocent wife get dragged into this?
First of all, if she was innocent, she wouldn't be my wife.
Yeah, how does she even end up married to him?
We've talked about this. Okay, the British accent covers up a lot of red flags. Okay, it's a lot of red flags. It was, let's be honest, she didn't marry me for the looks. Okay, I mean, why else?
Well, that's an absolute truth.
That's obvious.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have two things. Three. I'm autistic. I live in Silicon Valley, and I have a big shoe size. And
wow.
And I say, unlike Marco Rubio, I'm sorry. Did anybody else realize how big Marco Rubio's ears were until we saw him wearing shoes that were too big?
Wow.
I did not realize. I didn't realize how big I swear, his ears have aged quicker than he has. He has got old man ears on a young man's head.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Those ears are frightful.
I didn't realize
they are big.
I had no idea until I saw that picture of him wearing the two big shoes, and I'm like, he looks like the BFG, for those of you that read Roald Dahl to your kids. He looks like the Big Friendly Giant's head.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not so little giant ear, Marco. But, yeah. No, the intelligence thing is interesting. What did I read today? That we are going to lift here's my favorite thing. We may lift sanctions on Iran to speed up the flow of oil.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I am good at writing jokes, but I'm not that good.
There's no way.
I hosted the British ambassador's Oscar party on Sunday last week. Okay, I couldn't come up with a joke that good.
Oh my God. So we go into war.
Oh, they write themselves.
I'm gonna lose my shit if that happens.
We go into war, do all this collateral damage for the world.
I've got it right here.
They said F&G will be messed up for 5 years.
LNG,
excuse me. And now we're going to be like, oh, my bad. Come on, bro.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said early Thursday that the U.S. may lift sanctions on Iranian oil that is already in transit amid rising energy prices and ongoing U.S. military operation in the Middle East.
Why does that surprise anybody when they now want to make it easier for immigrants to come back and work in the farms after them running away for fear of being deported, right? I mean,
they're not going to come back.
It's just, no. Hopefully they won't. I hope they don't. I hope they stay away. But
Jesus Christ.
No. First of all, they're not going to stay away. And let me just say, hey, any maggots want to listen to this one? Let me tell you now. What did I do a few days ago? I'll tell you what I did. My landscaper's cousin is back in San Jose. And you want to know who arranged for that to happen? Me. Because I do not give a simple fuck about these things anymore. Yes, he was deported. Yes, I brought him back. I arranged it. Happily. And I have no. Why? Because I can say it, but nobody can prove anything. Because my security is better than that's available to the regular police forces. And I will be helping more people because that is my new hobby, is pissing people off by making other people's lives better.
Like that's new, John?
Too many words
That's not
there,
new.
John.
No, I've always just been pissing people off. Now it's with a good purpose.
Yeah, Eric,
Before it was just for satire. Now it has an element of humanity in it.
yeah, Eric, I counted 20 extra words on that.
Yeah.
Let me throw another interesting one at you, which didn't get enough attention this week. So they published the numbers for the trade deficit, the national trade deficit, which has increased by another $100 billion. So remember all those tariffs and all those things, and yeah, that didn't work. And the reason why? Because of the sheer volume of chips which we are buying from Taiwan to power the data centers, which are making the white collar jobs disappear.
He's right about that. That's true.
Yeah, that is very true. If I'm here in San Jose, and we've just had the big NVIDIA conference this week, and right now we are waiting. In fact, I'm in an Uber, if you know what I mean, right now, going past the Facebook offices. We're waiting for them to announce the loss of 15 to 20,000 jobs in the next week.
Wow.
Because of
for jobs.
Yeah. I this is going to sound, so I'm doing a couple of things in my own world, and I'll share some of that with you guys. You know, my world is complicated. I don't do the Intel stuff these days. I'm a marketing director at a large cybersecurity company. I've restarted my consulting business. I decided, I got laid off a couple of times. There's a non-zero chance it will happen to me. I've made sure that my business unit is empowered. I own 40% of the company's number, but you know what? It's not 50%. So I'm at risk.
Yeah.
So I restarted my business. I have a new, I've written an app. Didn't vibe code it, actually written an app. I will probably talk about that on my TikTok in a few days. It helps you make more out of AI.
Hey, John.
I'm doing that. Hold on, buddy. You can do the joke in a second. I'm
joke.
doing that because I'm taking this time while we have relative stability to invest in the safety of my family's finances. And I ask all of you to do that. Because
I agree.
Not enough people. I'm blessed. I do have savings. The average American family has $600 in savings. So whilst I don't want to unwind the economy, and I know you're all hurting right now because unlike me, you don't drive electric cars, please invest in yourself. This is the time to do it because the bad thing about a negative economy is it also creates opportunity. It's called Stiglitz's economic theory. The effect of creative destruction. Wages fall, rent falls, which is bad, but it also creates opportunity. And so I would hope that the 219 of you here that haven't retired like Mike would have the opportunity, would be able to take this opportunity to make something. So anyway, so pardon I'm being serious for once. Whoever I cut off, I apologize, but it had to be said for once.
Hey, John.
No.
It was me. DM me because I might have a job for you.
Again, I don't want to sleep with your sister. I won't take money for it.
It's
either.
It's a legitimate job.
Okay. I'll tell you that. I have my doubts. Okay. Jay's mom needs a job. I mean.
Well, you already took care of that. We already know that.
She did her job. She did her job.
She still does. She just still does. She blows. Anywho.
All right. Well, you know what? We're coming to the end here, and what a perfect timing to do it because I feel like we're going south here, and I need this fucking.
She does that as well,
so I can use. All right. Well, thank you, John.
She can help it. She can help it stay up as well. She's good at that. All of these things, Mike.
I appreciate that.
Just hit the
Thank
button,
you,
Mike.
Eric.
Just hit the button.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Trucker, Jojo, and everybody else that joined us. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Bye all.
God bless.